Joining me now here in New York City, former Prime Minister of Great Britain, Liz Truss. Prime Minister, thanks for coming on the show.
Great to be on.
Now, you've made the case that the deep state is going to upset Trump in a second term. That's your warning to Trump. Spell it out.
What happened to me in Britain is I put forward conservative economic policies and I got huge resistance from the economic establishment. And what I see now is those same people are now starting to question Trump and his economic policies and saying the markets won't like them. All the same kind of things that I heard when I was Prime Minister. And my warning is to American Republicans and Conservatives is the left have been very effective at taking over economic institutions, with woke policies, with climate change extremism. And we need to make sure we're ready to fight back, because I think it's vital that Conservatives get back in power. Is there
any area of policy in particular that you're worried about? You say economic institutions infiltrated by the wokies. Any special area of policy?
What happened to me is the Bank of England undermined what I was doing. So what I'm concerned about is what the Federal Reserve will do, what the Congressional Budget Office will do, and what the wider market sentiment will be around Trump economic policies, which we know we need. We know that Bidenomics is not working. We see huge inflation in America, massive debt. We need to see lower taxes. We need to see getting on with things like fracking and oil and gas exploration. But what I worry about is there is an establishment here, like there is an establishment in Britain, that don't want to see that change happening.
Generally speaking, is Trump popular in Britain?
Well, I think there are a lot of secret Trump supporters in Britain. No one wants to admit it. The BBC has constant articles about how terrible Trump is, misrepresenting what he says. But I think many people in Britain who voted for Brexit back in 2016, who voted for Boris in 2019, want to see things change. And I feel that same appetite for change here in America. People are not happy about the status quo. They're not happy about America not being strong and not taking on our adversaries around the world.
You've got a new book, and it's called 10 Years to Save the West, Leading the Revolution Against Globalism, Socialism and the Liberal Establishment. And we've got 10 years to make the changes.
We have.
But you're talking about a real systemic change in our politics.
Well, what's happened is we've seen decisions that used to be taken by elected politicians outsourced to unelected bureaucrats, and they've been captured by the left, whether it's the wokeism that we're seeing in our schools and universities, the idea that we've got 100 genders, whether it's the climate change, the extreme climate change policies that are undermining our competitiveness. That's what's been going on, and we need to seize back power for democratically elected politicians. We need conservative policies, because that's what was successful. That was what's successful in the 1980s when we took on the USSR. We need that same confidence in the UK and the United States. We need that confidence in our values. We've got to stop the people who are undermining our countries and actually take on our adversaries overseas.
You're a full backer of Trump, aren't you?
Yes.
100%.
And I think he needs to win. Okay. And people can see that across the world, that the world felt safer when Trump was in office than it feels now.
Prime Minister, I think I can say that. In England, you don't use former titles, do you?
No, no.
In America, we can. Prime Minister, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
It's great to have you with us. Thank you.